The natural and cultural heritage of herbalism in Slovenia is extremely diverse and rich, which can also be seen in the Upper Savinja and Šalek Valley, where there's a long tradition of collecting herbs. Herb production has been poorly developed in the past, but it has been accompanied by growth in recent years, mainly due to increased interest and demand. 6 Slovenian local action groups offered to the local herbalists the opportunity to connect and develop through the integrated tourism product of Herbal Heritage Project, also through the establishment of a tourism product.
Zdravilne rastline so lahko zdravilne rastline, strupene zdravilne rastline in tudi začimbnice.
Medicinal plants can be medicinal plants, poisonous medicinal plants, and also spices, which is a full spectrum. However, the plants mainly originate from the early 19th century, which is the gardens and the entire Grill homestead's main purpose. There are 80, maybe a bit more medicinal plants in the garden intended for use, as well as for tourists, kindergartens, primary schools, high school students, when they come to us to see the medicinal plants that are inside.
Naša ekološka kmetija je taka srednje velika, mešana kmetija.
Our eco-farm is a medium-sized mixed farm. Most of us are involved in the production and processing of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. The eco-label also means that our animals are in free range, that is, they have free access to the meadow, to the water, to the shade, to everything. And processing, which is our main source of income, is represented by herbal syrups, jams, and different types of cookies. Besides planting and cultivating thousands of plants with flowers and ornamental trees, Mozirski Gaj Flower Park has been dealing with herbs for over a decade, due to a well-maintained herb garden arousing the interest of numerous visitors.
Naše društvo letos obeležuje 10-letnico delovanja. Trenutno nas je včlanjenih 26.
Our society is marking its 10th anniversary this year. There are currently 26 members, only women so far. During all these years, we have set ourselves the basic task of educating and, above all, learning about medicinal plants, their active ingredients, and their proper use.
Na Solčavskem raste 238.
There are 238 indigenous medicinal herbs growing in Solčavsko, and people still recognize around 120 of them. They're getting increasingly interested in nature, including natural products, herbs. Of course, it is also interesting for children. It is very interesting for them when you, for example, offer them nettle and they can actually eat it, if it's prepared properly beforehand. In general, children like to explore. At the threshold of Logarska Valley in the picturesque natural environment lies the theme park Fido Gaj, which is an exceptional legacy of the healer Vid Strgar, Fit, from Solčava, and at the same time introduces us to the life and work of our simple and industrious ancestors who knew how to live in a respectful coexistence with nature. At Prodnik Sports Center, all harvested herbs from their own garden are offered to their guests, be it homemade tea or sweet pancakes with tarragon.
Our
pharmacy in the monastery was operated by Father Solomon Lipold, who invented the Solomon patch and the Solomon elixir. Following this tradition, I also came up with the monastery and Verbovec herbal tea. We have a registered supplementary activity on the farm, so we also deal with herbs and fruit and vegetable processing. In the monastery, they're also trying to preserve herbalism. Otherwise, every Saturday, all the farms represent themselves at the farmers' market. We started off with the idea around 2 years ago. We sat down and said, okay, now let's do something for ourselves. We not only want to live in Gornji Grad, but also work and live here. So we basically set up our own institute called Town in the Village.
Vrt je zasnovan po vzoru starega gartlca, se pravi...
The garden is modeled after an old gartlc, which is a cross-section for flower beds with a central layout in the center of everything. There are over 60 kinds of herbs. It's a lot of work. Very often we take care of the harvesting of the herbs, making new seedlings and cuttings, so everything can be transplanted into the garden again. The wisdom of the intelligent use of medicinal plants still lives among the Šalek meadows and the Savinja peaks. Join us to discover them together.